Hey everybody out there, it's Alabama Deep and coming back at you. Okay, so I am exhausted. I have been up all night doing this build for Eddie. Oh, I'm so tired. Uh, this watch was a journey. It was a journey indeed. It was actually quite horrible. Uh, trying to get everything done properly, fitted just right, so Mr. Eddie would be proud of his watch. And we have it here. I'm going to do an unveiling of it in just a minute. Frank joins us today, and Frank is very happy to be here. And this is Frank's little brother, who will be going on to enjoy his life with somebody else. Let's go ahead and take that sticker off. There we go. So let's talk about this watch, and let's talk about the journey of trying to get things just right for the customer, as I call him, because he did tip me, which I won't really call it pay, whatever. I did it because he also always wanted a Rolex, and of course, he cannot afford a $10,000 Rolex. He could probably afford, a couple thousand at the most, which is still enough to get one. But everyone seems to like these replicas so much. But this one here, Frank Jr., he is not really a replica, and he's not really a fake. He's more of a hybrid. Uh, the dial is genuine. It's a genuine Rolex dial. There are some other components inside of here which are genuine, and it was hell putting it together tonight. Lack of a better word. So I'm very tired. I've been trying to upload videos recently, and I'm having an issue with my uploads. It won't upload right. So I've had 3 videos now that have had to cancel because they're not uploading the way they should. But before we unveil Frank Jr. here, I thought that we would talk a little bit about the cases and such. Now, we've already been into a discussion on some of these cases. For example, let's move Frank Jr. out of the way for a minute. We talked about this case. Now, this is just one of the many cases that you can buy. And as you can see, it looks like a Rolex case, but it's made differently. The crystal presses in here. This bezel is fake bezel. It does not lift up. It's part of the case. But the back does unscrew, and it does have a screw-in crown. So it's an aftermarket oyster case. The next one that we do want to look at, and part of the series, would be this case, which is generally meant for 2813. You can get this also for 3135. The date window will be over a millimeter towards the left. And this one, the bezel does come off. The crystal is pressed into the bezel, and the bezel has no immediate function of holding the crystal down at all, except for it is pressed on top into this portion of the bezel. So why the bezel is separate from the case, I don't know, unless you wanted to remove this and see if you can find a crystal to fit around that, in which case you could then put possibly a Rolex fluted bezel, which the main purpose of a Rolex fluted bezel is to hold the crystal in place. And giving an example of that is this is a Rolex bezel, it would, well, we'll get to this in a second. The next case that you can get is this case. Now, this case is built identical to a Rolex oyster case. The bezel comes off, and underneath is a crystal. Now, unlike a flat crystal, which was part of my experience tonight, as you can see, oopsie, this crystal is flat. It has no lip on it. The gasket would go around the sides, which makes the sides itself to fit into here and to fit into a case like that. But wait, there's more. It'd be the same on this, only this bezel does not come off at all. As I've stated, it is part of the case itself. On this one, however, the bezel comes off. The bezel does put pressure on this crystal, but instead of this crystal being flat, it's like an actual Rolex crystal, a cap in which they put a gasket over here, and using the bezel, if I may, using the bezel, it goes down on top and holds the sides against the case itself to not allow water in. So this is the crystal for one of these that in tonight I was dissecting to create Frank Jr. Now I'll go on and I will show you what we actually have. Likewise, this is a Rolex crystal. It has sides on it, just like this one would right here. And this one right here is also for this case. So side-by-side comparison, Rolex versus aftermarket. They're very similar, almost identical. This case is a good buy. This case is bulletproof. I can tell you that right now. Most definitely 100% bulletproof. And as I've stated, when you're hunting for the right case, I would go for this one. I'm going to see if I can't find a link and put in the comments below. Because if you take the, actual genuine Rolex crystal, and they are somewhat hard to tell apart. I mean, they really are. Let's see. Yeah, this is the genuine oyster crystal. If you take the bezel, it will squeeze down, if I can. It squeezes down on real tight. Dude, and that goes onto the case. And that is how a real Rolex crystal goes on, just like that. So out of all these cases that I have, the best one I've seen is this. I can turn this to a fluted. I can leave it smooth. I can change out the crystal with another Rolex crystal. There's just so much I can do for it. Now this is for 2824, which a 3135 will fit into there, and the stem will match. Because 2824 and 3135, where their stem will protrude out into the case, are very close. So you shouldn't have an issue. And it should also wind as well. So this is a very good buy, and these cases were very cheap. I think they were like $15 a piece, which is awesome. And also the crowns do exchange. Uh, I was going to see if I had an extra Rolex crown around here, and I'm sure I do. Yeah, we'll just take one off this one for right now. When you have yourself one of these cases, of course, it's generic, it's not marked as Rolex, but you can get a Rolex crown. And boom, it fits right on. Not even an issue. So I'm going to try to find a link for this. This is on an AliExpress. Goodbye. So when you're trying to do a build, I would suggest the case I'm going to put in the comments below. Hopefully today, sometime. I don't know. I have to work, and I've been up all night, and it's getting up on 4:30, and it's getting ready for me to drive the highway to go to work, and I've had no sleep. Busy day. So Frank Jr. was a heck of a build. I had my ups, I had my downs. I had my moments. Had to stop, go smoke a cigarette. I was a little frustrated here and there, but Frank Jr. pulled through. So, talking more about this case and how I recreated Frank, this one was a little bit different. This dial is a champagne dial. It's a gold dial. I think you've already seen pictures of it on my post that I put out. And of course, everyone knows Frank. So we're recreating Frank with only exception being it has a gold dial and does not have a silver dial. I guess I call it champagne is what I would call it, but it really is more gold. And I'm trying to copy a 1959, 1960 model in a way. And so I thought I would do the unveiling now. Dun 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 dun. Dun. All right, so here's the completed watch. I thought I did really good on it. Come and take a look at it. I mean, that's just very pretty in every possible aspect you could think of. Very pretty indeed. It is running. It does have the 3135 clone movement in it. Oyster case, which it pretty much is. And all the way through. And I thought this was a very good build. It's so pretty, isn't it? I mean, dang, look at that crystal. So really the only thing I have left to do is to add a band to this watch, which I'm going to do in a little while. But I am so tired and exhausted. I think I'm going to take a very slight nap at first and then come back and I'll be adding the band. And this watch, I will have pictures up in it, of it for a upcoming post that people can watch and see. I just think this is so gorgeous. I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison of the one from 1959. I think it's reference number 66 something or other. It's a 34 millimeter. This one's a 36. That's really the only difference. So, yeah. I think this is a very awesome build indeed. And I hope Eddie will be satisfied with this watch, because it is very gorgeous indeed. Oh, and I apologize so much to everybody out there that my videos have not been uploading. I was going to go into more comparisons and such, but we will definitely do so on Tuesday and Wednesday on my off days. So, once again, say love you. Thank you everyone for watching, for subscribing, tuning in, And we have some watches to put together coming up on Tuesday and Wednesday. We got a lady's Rolex, and then we got a gentleman's 1601 to put together and see how they do. Hopefully, they'll turn out, just as good as this timepiece has, because it is very pretty. But okay, everybody, this is Alabama Deep. I'm signing off. I am going to go to bed. I am so tired. And I will definitely share a post or maybe in a little video of the completed watch after I've had my nap. So I'm going to get off here and just wanted to let everybody know that I am having some issues uploading my videos for some reason. My phone was wanting to be a dick. And hopefully I'll be able to remedy that problem soon and we can continue on with our journey into watchmaking and repair. So stay tuned, everybody, for upcoming episodes that we're going to be coming out on Tuesday and Wednesday. Peace out, and I hope everybody has a really good day.